Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and to finish off the week here we've got a wee match preview ahead of Sunday's game at Fir Park. It's Motherwell versus Celtic in the Scottish Premiership, where we look to continue our unbeaten start to the season after dropping points last week to Aberdeen, but also after that great result against Atalanta midweek. Both of them draws, both looked at very differently. Let's get this over and done with quickly today. The new Call of Duty's out and I want to sweat it. If you haven't already, please make sure to hit like and subscribe. It would be much appreciated. Thank you all so much for your support this week with the big games that we've had, and obviously this to bring the week to a close. It's been hectic. There's been a lot to talk about. I feel like we've covered it eloquently. Yes, what a way to put it. Shall we talk about the game? We've got some injury updates, Cameron Carter-Vickers, Greg Taylor, some good news surrounding the fitness status of them. Let's go over that. I guess we should start off with the updates in regards to Cameron Carter-Vickers and Greg Taylor. That's the topic of conversation today. Brendan Rodgers has given us an update on them. God, it feels like an eternity since they were last in the Celtic side, especially Cameron Carter-Vickers. I mean, he's been out from, well before that Dortmund game. He was out for St Johnstone the weekend before Dortmund, I remember that. So it's felt like a lifetime. So the whole of October he's been gone, and the month's about to end. But we could see him back again soon alongside Greg Taylor. This is what Brendan Rodgers said today at the press conference. He said that we've got Cameron back in training with the squad, which is good news. Greg Taylor as well. So we've got one more day to go, and we'll see how they are. But hopefully they will be involved in the game. We'd like them to be available. I think what's important is that it gives us options, which is what you want as a coach. But I think obviously the team was outstanding defensively the other night, but to have those two guys back where they are, back here, is very important for us. It'll be good. So, happy days. We have had those photos this morning of Cameron Carter-Vickers and Greg Taylor back in training at Lennoxtown. We heard that Vickers was actually back in training before the game midweek. There was a conversation whether or not he would be eligible or able to play, I should say, against Atalanta, but he ended up not travelling with the squad. He wasn't ready yet for that, but he could be ready for the game this weekend. Essentially what I think Brendan Rodgers is saying here is they're not quite up to full speed yet, full sharpness. If any of them play, it will be limited minutes, but they are options, hopefully, and it's only a matter of time before they're back full stop. Which obviously brings you on to the question of, should they play this weekend? You want your best back four in the park, and Celtic's best back four has Cameron Carter-Vickers and Greg Taylor in it. But midweek, wow, what a performance from everyone involved, from Johnston over to the left-hand side in Valley. All four of the defenders had a great game, and none of them deserve to be dropped after their performance on Wednesday night. And I don't think they will, to be honest. I don't think any of these players, especially Taylor, who is maybe a little bit behind Vickers in terms of training, I don't think any of them are ready to come back in yet for a start. That would be my assumption from Rodgers' comments, but as he said, there's still another day in between. Still got tomorrow to assess that. I think that Celtic should maybe just stick with the same back four for Sunday, and then maybe Wednesday, the midweek game against Dundee, maybe that's where you experiment. Maybe that's where you bring them back in and try and give them a start and get minutes in their legs. Fir Park is a tough place to go, and I would ideally like to see Celtic's best back four in there, but I think the lesson that we learned midweek was that we can trust these guys, that we can trust Trusty, that we can trust Valley. They are coming on to a game, they're getting better game by game. If you've been patient with them, you'll be enjoying watching them develop. Some people wanted to bin them off after a couple of games, but if you've been patient, which the majority of Celtic fans usually are, you will be enjoying watching them get better, grow in confidence and grow into the team. The partnership between Scales and Trusty is evidently getting better. We just need to avoid any silliness at the weekend because Motherwell are a good team at the minute. But they are back. Hopefully they'll be fully fit soon. No more injuries for Cameron Carter-Vickers, please, I beg. But it'll be nice whenever they do get the shout. Maybe we'll see minutes for them this weekend. One of the things that we should cover that was a topic of conversation at today's press conference actually ties in with what I was talking about a moment ago with patience when it comes to new signings. And that was the conversation surrounding Engles. Of course, Celtic's record signing. We signed him for £11 million from Augsburg in the summer. And he's had a mixed start to his Celtic career. I think he started off really good, and he's kind of tailed off a little bit in the past couple of games. That would seem to be the popular opinion. But we know that some people like to take it that step further and saying that he's rotten, that he was a waste of money, and that he's no good. Well, Brendan Rodgers spoke about that today, very simply saying in the press conference that we've brought a young player who is nowhere near the finished article. And to expand on that, he said, look, listen, of course there's critics, of course there's opinions, but we've brought in somebody here who is 20 years of age. We're buying for the potential. It's my job, Brendan Rodgers' words, not my job. Brendan's job. It's Brendan's job to develop that alongside the staff. That's what the manager was saying today at his press conference. And I think it's so important to acknowledge that. I've been really impressed with what I've seen of Arne Engles so far. You know, we're talking about somebody who is going to take a while to mature and really get up to the price tag that we've paid. And that's football. You know, yeah, we've spent £11 million, but we've been begging the club to do it. They've finally done it. We can't just suddenly bin off the project as soon as it's got underway. I like him a lot, and I stand by him and support him, and it's almost as if he'll probably prove me right in that support, like every other player seems to do. Some don't, but you know, we've seen the praise that Trusty was getting the other night, for example, and the praise that Valley was getting the other night after people binned them off after the game. Don't fall into the same trap and do it with Arne Engles. You know, judge players over a period of time. And even if they are flops, you know, they're not flops after a few games. They're flops after a few months. They're flops after half a season, maybe. Not as soon as their career is underway at the club. So Brendan Rodgers, I think it's ridiculous he's actually been asked to answer that question, in all honesty, if I was to give an opinion on it. But, of course, it's the modern day. It's football now. Things need to happen yesterday. You know, performances need to happen yesterday. Improving your worth needs to happen yesterday. Patience. 20 years of age. Listen, Matt O'Reilly wasn't the finished article after his first few games. You know, he had a great first opening months or so to Celtic in his career. Remember that second season? People were saying he wasn't good enough. You know, when he had that season under Ange, the full year, the full campaign, Ange's last season here, people were saying he wasn't good enough, and then Brendan Rodgers revitalised his career and brought the best out of him. And we were all talking about how he's one of the best midfielders we've seen at Celtic. God, patience. Have we not learned our lessons? So anyway, the opposition, we've barely got to speak about them in this match preview. Motherwell, Fir Park, the last time we were there, God, what a day that was. It was a title decider for Celtic. Adam Ida was the hero on the day I was there. I should be there this weekend. Sadly, I've got ICW, so I can't make it. But they go into this game in a really good position, Motherwell. You look at the league table right now, they're sitting fifth. One of the sides who I thought would be right down the bottom end of the table this season. I didn't really think they'd have it in them to fight for where they are right now, but they're in a League Cup semi-final. They're fifth in the table. Their form going into the game is pretty good as well. They've won 4 of their last 6 Scottish Premiership games. They have been a real surprise package this season for Kettlewell's high-flying well side. They're playing decent football, they're scoring goals, and they're doing it with a lot of kind of fitness issues as well. A lot of players that have been in and out of the team. I've been impressed of what I've seen of Motherwell so far, and it'll be a tough game. Of course, they always make it physical. They always stretch Celtic. So we know what to expect by now. We've played Kettlewell's Motherwell side a number of times. And of course, they'll be trying to hang on to try and not concede goals, but they'll definitely have a go at it. So we need to just be tight at the back. Just apply a lot of what we've done again the other night, but we'll get more chance to attack the game. It's as simple as that. No fucking blowing 2-0 leads though, Celtic, yeah? So here is my team prediction on screen. Only one change from the starting 11 in Bergamo on Wednesday night, and that's Kyogo in for Adam Ida. And I know a lot of people might be saying, Ryan, the reason we won at Fir Park last time is because Adam Ida was starting the game. I know. And to be honest, I would love Adam Ida to start. This is a prediction, and I think Kyogo will come back into the team on Sunday afternoon. So I've got him in there, and aside from that, there's no other changes. Paulo Bernardo remains on the bench for me, and the defence, I think if we do see Taylor and Vickers, they'll maybe wait. And if there's no need for them, look, listen, hypothetically speaking, if Celtic are 3-0 up with 20 minutes to go, they're not going to bring on Vickers or Taylor, I don't think. I don't think there's a point in risking them. Just wait till the midweek game. But for me, yeah, the team done the job midweek. Will do the job again. Simple as that. And that's it. Score prediction. I'll go 3-1 Celtic. Clean sheets in the league are kind of gone out the window, aren't they? So 3-1 Celtic I'll go for, and I think it'll be a tough game. But let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm away to play Black Ops 6, so enjoy your weekend, ladies and gents. I'll be back on the channel Sunday with the match reaction, of course. But until then, have a good one. God bless, and I'll see you all next time.